There are a lot of smart home devices I like, but there are also some I would not buy in 2026.
Nope.
At least not without thinking very carefully first. And I don't mean because they're bad products in every situation. Some of them can make sense for the right person. But after looking at what actually works, what people complain about, what requires extra subscriptions, and what becomes annoying after a few months, there are a few categories I would personally be careful with. The first thing I would not buy is a cheap, no-name smart security camera.
Nope.
This is probably the biggest one. On paper, these cameras look amazing. You'll see things like 2K video, night vision, motion alerts, two-way audio, cloud storage, and app control for a really low price. But with cameras, I care less about the spec sheet and more about trust. Who makes the app? How long do they support updates? Is two-factor authentication available? Is the footage stored locally, in the cloud, or both? And what happens if the company disappears or stops supporting the device? A cheap smart bulb is one thing. A cheap camera watching your front door, garage, or living room is completely different. That doesn't mean you need to buy the most expensive camera. Brands like Eufy, Reolink, Topo, Blink, Ring, Arlo, and Google all have trade-offs. Some focus more on local storage, some focus more on cloud features, and some push subscriptions harder than others. But I would rather buy from a company with a real security track record than save $10 on a random camera with a questionable app. The second thing I would avoid is any smart camera or doorbell where the best features are locked behind a subscription.
Nope.
This one is tricky because subscriptions are not always bad. Cloud storage can be useful. Package detection can be useful. AI alerts can be useful. But I don't like buying a device and then realizing the feature that made it look good in the first place costs extra every month. That changes the real price. A $100 camera can become a $200 camera pretty quickly if you need a subscription for video history, smart alerts, or basic recording features. So, before buying, I'd ask one question. What does this device actually do without paying every month? If the answer is not much, I'd probably skip it or look for a model with local storage. The third thing I would not buy is a smart appliance just because it has Wi-Fi.
Nope.
This includes refrigerators, ovens, washers, dryers, and dishwashers. Some smart appliances are genuinely useful. I like alerts when laundry is done. I like energy monitoring. I like maintenance reminders. And in some cases, smart features can actually make the appliance easier to use. But I would not pay a big premium just because an appliance has an app. The reason is simple. Appliances are supposed to last a long time. A fridge or washer might last 10 years or more, but the app, software support, and cloud features may not age nearly as well. That creates a weird problem. The appliance might still work, but the smart part could become outdated, unsupported, slow, or annoying. So my rule is this. I only care about smart features if the appliance is already good at being an appliance. If the fridge is unreliable, I don't care how smart the screen is. If the washer cleans poorly, app alerts don't fix that. Buy the best appliance first. Treat the smart features as a bonus. The fourth thing I would be careful with is buying too many Wi-Fi smart devices.
Nope.
Wi-Fi smart plugs and bulbs can be great when you only have a few, but once you start adding a lot of Wi-Fi bulbs, plugs, cameras, switches, sensors, and appliances, things can get messy. Your router has more devices to manage. Your apps pile up. Some devices respond slower, and if the internet goes down, certain features may stop working. This is why protocols like Zigbee, Z-Wave, and Thread still matter. They are designed for smart home devices in a way that Wi-Fi is not always perfect for, especially smaller sensors and switches. So I'm not saying never buy Wi-Fi devices. I am saying I would not build an entire smart home out of random Wi-Fi gadgets from different brands. A few Wi-Fi plugs? Fine. 20 cheap Wi-Fi bulbs, 10 random sensors, 4 camera apps, and 3 different automation systems. That's how a smart home becomes frustrating. The fifth thing I would not buy is a Matter device without checking what kind of Matter it is.
Nope.
Matter sounds simple, but in real life, it still has details that matter. A device can be Matter over Wi-Fi, Matter over Thread, or work through a bridge. Those are not the same experience. If it's Matter over Thread, you need a Thread border router. That could be an Apple HomePod Mini, Apple TV, certain Echo devices, Google Nest devices, or another compatible hub. If you don't have that, the setup can be confusing. And even when a device supports Matter, that does not always mean every advanced feature works perfectly in every app. So I like Matter, I think it's important, but I would not blindly buy something just because the box says Matter. I'd still check. Does it work with my platform? Does it need Thread? Does it need a hub? And are the features I care about supported? The sixth thing I would avoid is overbuying smart displays.
Nope.
A smart display can be useful in the kitchen or office. It can show cameras, timers, weather, music, recipes, and smart home controls. But I don't think most homes need one in every room. A lot of people buy smart displays thinking they're going to become the center of the smart home. Then, after a few weeks, they mostly use them as a clock, speaker, or photo frame. That's not terrible, but it may not be worth the money. For most people, one good smart display in a high-use area makes sense, but buying several before you know how you'll actually use them, I'd hold off. The seventh thing I would be careful with is cheap smart locks from unknown brands.
Nope.
Smart locks are another category where trust matters. A smart lock is not just a gadget, it controls access to your home. So I want good hardware, good battery life, strong app security, backup entry options, and a company that will keep supporting the product. I'm not saying every expensive smart lock is perfect. Some premium locks still have issues with battery life, Wi-Fi reliability, or awkward installation. But I would be very cautious with unknown brands that are cheap, only because they cut corners in the lock, the app, or the long-term support. For smart locks, I'd rather buy once and get something dependable than save a little upfront and worry about it later. So, what would I buy instead? I'd focus on smart devices that solve a real problem. A smart thermostat if it helps manage energy. A leak detector if it protects your home from the damage. A smart plug with energy monitoring if you want to understand power usage. A reliable camera with clear storage options. A smart lock from a trusted brand. A robot vacuum if it fits your floors and lifestyle. The big lesson is this: don't buy smart home devices just because they are smart. Buy them because they make your home easier to manage, safer, more efficient, or less annoying. And if a product adds another app, another subscription, another cloud dependency, or another thing to troubleshoot, I start asking whether it's actually making the home smarter. Because in 2026, the best smart home is not the one with the most devices, it's the one with the fewest regrets.